What is up there, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Talk, your source for all things anime, from deep dives and character breakdowns to power-ups and plot twists. I'm your host, BlazeRod, your favorite fire-wielding dragon, and today's episode is perfect for both anime newcomers and longtime fans, because we are counting the top 10 animes that every new fan should watch. The ultimate starter pack for anyone getting into the anime world. So let's level up your watch list. Now, before I jump into this list, let's talk about criteria. Now, a great first anime should be one of the following. Easy to follow, so no crazy timelines or 800 episodes commitments. Sorry, One Piece, you are sadly not the first pick for top 10 anime. Not saying that One Piece isn't good, it's just not an anime recommended for new watchers. It's probably recommended when you get your footing into certain anime genres. Next is emotionally engaging. Lots of emotion, lots of moments where it will make you feel something. Visually exciting, obviously beautiful animation and crazy visuals. A solid intro to anime tropes and storytelling styles, and of course, it should leave you wanting to check out some other animes that are available. So these picks cover different genres, so whether you're into action, whether you're into romance, whether you're into slice of life or supernatural, you'll find something there. So without further ado, let's get into this list. So the first anime, the top 10 anime that newcomers should pick up watching, is Sword Art Online. It's a thrilling ride into the world of virtual gaming. Got action, romance, and some isekai vibes, great for fans of fantasy MMOs. So if you are a big Final Fantasy fan, or just all things into the fantasy genre, then this anime is for you. Little breakdown of Sword Art Online. It is about a boy who jumps into a VR game. It just released and everything goes smoothly. Everything goes great. Everyone who has signed up for this game is enjoying the game until a certain twist happens. See, the players aren't able to log out of the game, and that's when the Grandmaster, the creator of the game, lets them in on the real truth. They are trapped in a virtual game, and the only way for them to get out of the game is to, well, beat the game. They had to go up to the 100th floor and beat the final boss of the game. And here's the crazy part about all of this. You know how you have your standard, your standard RPG games where you have health, kind of like Dark Souls or Elden Ring. You have your full health, you got your weapons and everything. And if your health bar drops down to 0, that's it. Even though you can restart. However, in the case of Sword Art Online, that's not the case. If your health bar drops to 0, you're just straight up dead. There's no revival, no do-overs, no Elden Ring 1,000 tries. Nope. Health bar drops to 0, you're just done. So this anime follows the main character Kirito along with a bunch of other main characters as they try to survive this virtual game and find a way out. Now, to break it down to you a little bit more, it does have multiple seasons. If you can get through season 2 and 3, great. Then we have Sword Art Online Alicization. Now that is where the anime picks back up. But if you are a fan of fantasy style shows, this is the anime for you. The next anime that I will request for all of my starter anime watchers is Death Note. Now, this is a very classic pick for all newcomers. It's two geniuses, one notebook of death. You'll be hooked by episode 2, and it's a perfect intro to psychological thrillers in anime. So, as the description basically said, you have your main character, Light Yagami, a regular high schooler. One day, just finds a random notebook just sitting in the schoolyard, which is known as the Death Note, basically the name of the anime. And of course, it's as simple as it goes. Whoever name you write in this Death Note will die. Simple as that. No need for complex power scaling or power descriptions. Is simple. You write a name, they die. Simple as that. And of course, this is what builds the main characters, as we would call it, God complex, because you literally have control over who lives and who dies. Now, the other character, L, which you'll meet later in the anime, is a detective, and he's basically going through this entire anime trying to find out who L is, even though he has a certain guess as to who L is. But that's the suspense and the thrilling action that Death Note brings to the table. You got two geniuses put together to see who comes out on top. So, if you are interested in very psychological thriller, Death Note is definitely the choice for you. The next anime that I'm going to request all of my beginner anime fans is One Punch Man. Now, just bear with me. All of my longtime anime fans know about this anime, but for my beginners, let me just break it down to you. It's an overpowered bald guy who defeats enemies in one punch. I don't even know how much simpler we can make this anime. We could describe this anime. It's literally One Punch Man. Beats enemies in one punch. But he still feels empty inside. So, it's funny, meta, and full of wild animation. So, of course, the main character, Saitama, who eventually becomes the One Punch Man, becomes so strong that it's kind of boring to him. Like, he has this overwhelming strength that it literally just takes one punch to defeat an enemy. And that's kind of boring to him. He wants some fire to be lit up in his spirit once again. But keep in mind, it's a whole bunch of funny characters, whole bunch of action, and you just get to see Saitama being Saitama, aka the strongest man on the planet. So, if you are into like comedic stuff and you want to see a scenario where a person beats someone in one move, then One Punch Man is definitely for you. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in my first recommendation for number 7. This is my first recommendation. If you enjoy cooking, if you enjoy something just relaxing and comforting, this is a anime that I recommend for all of my beginners. It is called, and bear with me, alright? It is called Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill. Yes, I know the title is long, but if you just look up campfire cooking, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So, this is an isekai anime. So, it's a combination of an isekai anime and a cooking anime. So, our main character gets transported to another world, but he doesn't really want so much conflict because for all of my longtime anime fans, we all know how an isekai goes. A person gets transported to another world and they become the hero of that new world, and they have to become strong and defeat the Demon King. But our main character of this anime doesn't want to get into that. He just wants to chill and, live a peaceful life. So he obtains this special skill called online grocery store. I believe that's the name of the skill. I would have to check it again, which basically is a online store from his world, and he uses this skill to create a plethora of dishes. Apparently these dishes smell so good that it catches the eye of a certain wild beast known as Fenrir, and together with Fenrir, our main character goes into a peaceful life of just relaxation and cooking. So it's a very quick anime. It's 12 episodes. You're gonna just speed right past it. But I recommend this anime because I absolutely enjoy it a lot, and there are so many good recipes that you can actually cook yourself at home. Now, for my longtime anime fans, you're probably wondering, why am I not requesting Food Wars? That's not an anime that I would request new beginners, and I'm pretty sure my longtime anime fans can agree. If you just look up clips of Food Wars, you'll understand what I mean. So that's why I'm kind of choosing a more safer anime to start off with. So once again, it's called Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill, or just Campfire Cooking. It's a very relaxing, very comforting slice of life isekai anime that I think you all will enjoy. So for number 6, Demon Slayer. Gorgeous animation, lovable characters, and intense sword battles. It's basically anime's modern day ambassador. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean, but I definitely agree on gorgeous animation and lovable characters and intense sword battles. So, just to simply break down the story of Demon Slayer, a boy named Tanjiro lives in a peaceful hut with his family, goes out to go get some wood for some charcoal, because he works in that type of business with his father. Comes home to find his entire family deceased, and his sister unfortunately gets turned into a demon. And so this anime begins a full-fledged journey of Tanjiro and his sister Nezuko to battle demons and eventually find a cure to turn Nezuko back into a human. And of course, that leads to Tanjiro coming face to face with the king of all demons named Muzan. Now, when you first look at Muzan's design, a lot of us immediately thought, hey, doesn't that look a little bit like Michael Jackson? And that has been run on for as long as I can remember. But Demon Slayer is a very beautiful, very spectacularly animated, I don't even know if that was even a word, but we're gonna go with it. It's a very spectacular animated series. Like, the animation studio behind Demon Slayer, I feel like should deserve a raise because the levels of animation that goes into each episode, honestly, is to be studied. But definitely a lot of lovable characters like Tanjiro, Nezuko, a boar-headed uh, dude named Inosuke, and some people may not like this character named Zenitsu, but he definitely has grown over the span of seasons that Demon Slayer brings. So, if you are a lover of beautiful animation and want to meet some new characters and embark on a beautiful story of a boy trying to save his sister, then Demon Slayer is the right pick for you. I'm gonna request this is my second recommendation for number 5, and it's actually a very interesting one. Attack on Titan. Now, there are a bunch of people that will say that Attack on Titan shouldn't be a recommendation for first time anime people, but there are some that agree. I'm just gonna get it out the way. This one gets very intense, but it's a global hit for a reason. It has a deep plot, has so many epic twists, and a wild titan fights. It's definitely a getaway anime. Now, breakdown. The anime starts with a boy named Eren with his sister Mikasa and his friend Armin, and they live in a surrounding city surrounded by a wall. Why are they surrounded by a wall, you may ask? Well, it's because they want to hoard out these carnivorous beasts known as titans. And it all starts with Eren's mother getting eaten by a titan. And so Eren embarks to train with the military corps. Basically, it's a liege of soldiers who go out and fight titans. And Eren vows to kill every single titan. Simple, right? Well, remember when I said there are some epic twists that comes with this anime? Yeah, there are a ton, and I mean a ton of epic twists in this anime. I won't say what those epic twists are. You're just gonna have to watch the anime yourself. Now, of course, Attack on Titan was some ups and downs with it being delayed in episodes, and a lot of controversy going to those episodes. But if you take your time with it and really get invested in the story, Attack on Titan will be a fan favorite for all of my beginning anime watchers. For number 4, the fourth recommendation for all my beginners is My Hero Academia. If you are a lover of Marvel or just all things superheroes, this is the anime for you. Superhero school, emotional arcs, and plus ultra energy. No pun intended. So, like I said, if you like Marvel, DC, or any type of superhero style stories, this one feels familiar but fresh. So, breaking down My Hero Academia, a limited percentage of the people in this world will manifest what is known as a quirk. And that quirk allows either some of the population to use it for evil, known as villains, or some of them will use their quirks for good to stop those villains, who are known as heroes. And our story begins with a boy named Izuku Midoriya, a boy who unfortunately wasn't born with any quirk. But a twist of fate happens, and Izuku catches the eye of one of the greatest heroes in this entire world, All Might, the number one hero. And it's with this interaction of Izuku and All Might that Izuku inherits All Might's quirk known as One for All, and Izuku begins his journey to become the greatest hero by attending the academy known to build up heroes, known as My Hero Academia. I absolutely love this anime. It's basically my top 5 favorite animes to watch, and with the final season coming in less than 2 months, and the new video game coming out, I wouldn't deny that My Hero Academia would be a great choice for all beginner anime watchers. I will definitely say this: if you can kind of stay away from the fandom, because My Hero Academia is known to be said, the fandom kind of brings a lot of controversy to people who want to watch My Hero Academia. So my advice, stay away from the fandom and just enjoy the show. You can be a fan of anime in your own way. Don't follow what other people do. So, once again, if you enjoy Marvel, if you enjoy DC, or you just enjoy any sort of superhero stories, My Hero Academia is the right pick for you. Next is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Alchemy, Brotherhood, and some of the best story pacing in anime. It's a must watch. Period. And I definitely agree. Description of the show: 2 boys, their mother has passed away, and one of them decides to kind of bend the fabrics of reality and tries to bring their mother back using alchemy. Of course, everything goes wrong. One of the brothers ends up losing an arm, and the other brother ends up losing their entire body. Their soul gets placed into this metal armor, and so the 2 brothers embark on a journey to reclaim the lost brother's body. Simple as that. A lot of interesting characters, a lot of characters that you're going to enjoy. There's even some characters that you're going to hate, because let's be honest, there's not a lot of animes where there isn't a character that we despise. Let's just say in this anime you're gonna find a good amount of people to despise, but you're definitely gonna find a lot of characters that you're going to get attached to. I'm just gonna say that you should probably watch out for getting attached to, because if I remember saying in a previous episode of Anime Talk, when you get attached to a character, actually I don't even know if I even mentioned this, when you get attached to a character in an anime, you just have this weird feeling that something bad is going to happen to this character. It happens in a lot of shonen anime and non-shonen anime, where there's a character that you will love, enjoy, and it's like, oh, this is my favorite character of all time, only then for that character to unexist, erased from the entire show, or maybe come back later. But just know that in this anime in particular, and even in the other animes that I am recommending right now, there's gonna be some characters that you will enjoy, but I guarantee you some of them are not making it out alive. But I definitely recommend Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for its amazing story and amazing story pacing. Next up is Naruto. Now, I know that we mentioned that One Piece is not a not really a good example or a good recommendation for beginner watchers. And I'm gonna say that Naruto also is a stretch of being a recommendation for beginner anime watchers. It's long. Let's get the elephant out of the room, ladies and gentlemen. But the early arcs are absolutely legendary. You got ninjas, you got chakra, and you got life lessons that still hit. It's a classic starter anime. It's like me recommending Dragon Ball Z for beginner anime watchers. Yes, it's long, but you're definitely gonna get attached to a bunch of characters. Very legendary fights in Dragon Ball Z, and there's a lot of legendary arcs and fights in Naruto. So, what's the description of Naruto? A boy named, well, obviously the name of the show, Naruto Uzumaki, who goes on a... I actually am having trouble how to describe this. Basically, boy named Naruto Uzumaki embarks on a journey to become the greatest ninja ever, known as the Hokage. Of course, there isn't a good journey without some setbacks. Obviously, he is the host of one of the most dangerous creatures known as a tailed beast, who we later... You know what? I'm going to let you find out what Naruto's tailed beast name is along the way. I won't reveal it. In anime, and all of my long time anime fans will know what his name is. But you know, he is hated throughout the village because of him having a tailed beast inside him, because technically that tailed beast was the cause of a lot of destruction during when his father and mother was around. So everybody despises Naruto. But despite of all the hatred that Naruto has been getting throughout this story, he still finds ways to impress others and actually inspire others as he embarks on this journey to become the strongest ninja and become the Hokage. So, once again, I know this is a stretch for a recommendation for first anime watchers, but I assure you, if you pace yourself, I would say maybe like 3 to 5 episodes a day, you are in for a very legendary story. And the last recommendation that I will recommend all my beginner anime watchers is Cowboy Bebop, a space bounty hunter anime with jazz, heartbreak, and style. Short, sweet, and unforgettable. If you want to fall in love with anime, this is it. So we see you, Space Cowboy. Yeah, very classical anime. If you enjoy the way I could describe Cowboy Bebop is it has kind of like a James Bond type of vibe. If James Bond was in space. So, very quick, Cowboy Bebop. A lot of great jazz music. You're gonna have some heartbreak, but you're gonna enjoy Spike, who is the main character of the story, along with his journey. So, those are the top 10 anime that I recommend for beginner anime watchers. So, obviously, I can't leave you all with this top 10 list without saying some honorable mentions. So, I know what you're thinking. Where's Jujutsu Kaisen? Where's Haikyuu? Where's Spy X Family? Where's Solo Leveling? That's a joke. That last one was a joke. So, here are some honorable mentions that are also perfect for first beginner anime watchers. You have Jujutsu Kaisen, great animation, and cursed energy battles. I will warn you, Jujutsu Kaisen is one of those animes where the powers, and techniques of JJK are very complicated. So, just to give you some advice, don't worry too much about the power techniques. Alright? Just enjoy the show. Then you got Haikyuu, which is actually one of my favorite sports animes. So, you'll love anime. You'll love sports anime after this. Trust me. Then you got Mob Psycho 100. It's emotional, it's very weird, but it's very powerful. This is actually another one of my favorites because it bases around this boy who is a psychic. But the thing about his psychic powers is it all bases around how he's feeling. So I'm gonna leave you with that. Go check it out and you'll see what I mean. And then lastly, you got Spy X Family or Spy Family. Basically, if you say Hunter x Hunter, it has an X in the middle, so some people will say Hunter x Hunter, but some people will say Hunter x Hunter. You can either say Spy X Family or Spy Family. It's comedy plus action and plus heartwarming chaos. You will enjoy it. They are all wordy, but I wanted to keep the core 10 beginner, friendly, and balanced across the genres. So, that's going to wrap up this episode of Anime Talk. I know this episode was kind of just a little talkity because I'm just recommending anime to a lot of people and it's not really me fully describing it. I know I was doing terrible, but bear with me. Bear with me. So, the question for today's episode is for all my longtime anime fans. What was your first anime? Was it a Toonami classic like Dragon Ball Z or something newer like Demon Slayer? Like, what was your first indication or your first introduction to the world of anime? Please let me know about it in the comment section down below, or let me know in the Discord server that is now open. Link is in the description down below. And who knows? And maybe I'll do a post asking the same question where you guys can comment on it. So there's 3 ways. You can comment it on this video, you can comment your answer in the Discord server, link is in the description, or you can comment it on the post that I will make on this video. And who knows, maybe I'll read some of your comments in the next episode. Alright, that's going to wrap up today's countdown of animes that I recommend for my beginner anime fans. If you're new to anime, welcome to the fandom. Your watch list is about to explode. And this is just a top 10. There are so many other animes that you can check out. But be sure to ask someone who is very familiar with anime. Also, if they have any first recommendations. So next time on Anime Talk, we're going to talk about anime villains and why they often outshine the heroes. So like from Aizen to Makima from Bleach and Chainsaw Man. And then we'll explore what makes a great antagonist. So if you like this episode, please be sure to follow the show by subscribing to the channel. Be sure to drop a review, drop a like, and keep those anime debates going. So until then, keep your power levels high and keep talking anime.